All right, Tuesday morning, I woke up with a concern, but also a vision on how to solve it. What's up, everybody? My name is Aaron. I am the Brick Scavenger. We're building the Legona 500 marble racetrack sponsored by Dreams. So excited. Let's talk about this little issue.
All right, so here's the issue. This elevator is not all that tall, which means we're gonna have to go downhill from not that big of a height all the way across this table, take a turn, and end up at our next elevator over here. That's a long way. That's probably close to 10 feet of downhill. So my concern is I may need another elevator, even if it's a small one, just to help the marbles go downhill a little more and then end up on the carrot top elevator. But I had a thought that we might be able to combine an elevator and an obstacle. So I'm gonna build a little bit of this thing and then show you what my vision was. All right, so this is the villainous area here. So obviously this obstacle elevator is gonna have to be, sort of villainous themed. So I had this vision of something, if it works, we're gonna call the grave digger. I'm envisioning these, minifigure shovel accessories spinning around, scooping up marbles and heaving them up into the air. Check this out. This is what I was thinking. So this marbles would be coming downhill like this, fall over the edge, right? Now this is not done. This is just sort of prototype number one. This will be tiled down here. But when they fall in here, we'd have a motor spinning these shovels, which in theory, scoop up a marble from, down here, spin, and then hopefully heave the marbles up over this way. Now, I don't know how fast it would have to spin. Maybe it's just gonna literally just drop the marbles like this. So that would be some troubleshooting we'll have to do based on the length of this arm and the speed with which it spins. I don't know, we'll see. But, a couple of things I'm concerned about immediately. One is that if it doesn't shoot these marbles correctly, the marbles have to end up somehow, continuing the race. So I'm envisioning you put a second one of these on this side so that any marbles that don't get heaved up to the next platform kind of fall down back into the gravedigger and then they try again. So in theory, they could get stuck in here for a little while as they try to make their way out. This is gonna have to be tiled down here to make sure that the marbles have just a tile worth of height extra to help those marbles, the shovels scoop. And then what happens if the marble's kind of here and it kind of, falls over the edge here? Obviously this is gonna be racetrack. It's gonna be downhill. It's gonna have to be downhill so that any marbles that kind of scoop up here then go back into the gravedigger. So I don't know. Maybe this is a disastrous design. Maybe it gets scrapped. But I'm gonna build a little more and then we're gonna test it out and see what the marbles do in it. All right, so we're wired up. Let's test this out and see what it's gonna do. Here's the general idea, right? The marble rolls down, falls in, and then it sort of, rolls around until it gets scooped up. It's not getting tossed out, of course, but the question is, will more speed do it? Do we need longer arms? I mean, it's sort of doing, what I thought or what I wanted, but obviously, really, we're trying to get the marbles elevated. I was kind of envisioning an arm heaving it. Let's speed up the. Let's speed up the thing. This was speed 26. Let's just go extreme here. We'll go all the way to speed 100. Okay, now we're cooking with gas, but I don't know if this thing's gonna throw it. Let's find out. Whoa, jeez, it never even fell in. All right, hold on. They fell on the floor. Let's try again. Okay, here we go. Ready? Whoa, it didn't even fall in. All right, it's certainly not whoa, heave launching the thing. I can't even get it in there. All right, well, that's not working the way I envisioned. We got to rethink this. All right, so I decided to make the arms longer in hopes of being able to kind of toss these further, which ended up being a fairly big project, trying to find a way to contain the marbles until they're caught. If I dump some marbles in there though, it's really not doing what I want it to do. What I really want it to do is get caught in a basket, come this way, and then get kind of heaved like that. They're bleeding over the edge here and not really getting caught very well by the shovels. So I'm starting to think that maybe shovels was a bad idea. I'm gonna see if I can design a different sort of shovel piece that will hold the marbles better. All right, so frustration has kind of set in on designing this grave digger. It's not gonna work the way I want it to, at least not without a ton more effort. There's two problems. One, I'm having a hard time really kind of grabbing the marbles as this goes through. And second of all, if I grab them too tight, the centripetal force actually keeps them in, like, on the arm, and so it's not launching it. But I'm thinking if I reverse the spin of this thing, I actually can make this thing work. So the marbles will be coming in down here. They fall in. Now these arms, which line up like, a big shovel, are actually spinning counterclockwise, launch them up this ramp, and then they, depending on how effectively they're launched, I think what we'll do is we'll have two different paths. One path, if you're not launched very well, will be sort of the slow path over to the elevator. But if you make a big daring jump successfully, you're rewarded with like a bigger downhill, speed accelerator. So in theory, it could be a lot of fun and drama. Let's see how this goes. So this is speed max. This thing's kind of hauling. I don't know if it needs to go this fast. It probably does to really launch a marble. But I'm envisioning the marbles may end up coming in the side. Let's see if I back this camera up a little bit what it does. Ready? Whoa. That one didn't launch very high, but it launched fast. I don't even know if you saw that. Let's try again. Okay, so suddenly this brainstorm is giving me hope because I was losing hope and getting frustrated. But now I think we can really launch a marble and we'll have a couple different paths they can go. And anytime marbles are separated or have a chance to catch up, I think it makes it more dramatic and fun. So maybe the gravedigger is gonna survive. All right, this is actually starting to come together now. I placed some of the decorative pieces just to give you the general idea of what's going on. But the gravedigger here is gonna launch marbles up into one of two paths. They make their way down to the carrot top elevator. Up the elevator they go, down the little ramp, through the slides. And then they're gonna make their way down. This is gonna be a bright light orange color tile with some bright light orange trees. One of the very first episodes of Dreams had this big kind of fall looking path. They're gonna have to navigate some of the deer in the way. They will go through here and then enter the village through the whack-a-mole mushroom obstacle. And then they'll make their way down. Again, this will be all tiled through the village. This will be mostly clean right here, just kind of a raceway. Then they'll come in here. They'll probably have enough speed to bump into a wall right here, turn direction 90 degrees. We've got the tree house right here, and then they'll go into the meat grinder, racing through the rest of the village under the turtle van, where they'll then enter the villain land. They'll have to go up the elevator, and then we will use those rock pieces as a ramp kind of down a volcano back into the gravedigger. And that'll be the full circle. I'm excited. I think this thing is really actually starting to feel like it's gonna be real. Obviously, we're waiting on the rock pieces to come in for this huge part of the track. I have two more of these Dreams stable creatures. The houses obviously will be good for the village area, but more importantly, I need these deer. for the, the part where they're going to navigate all that flock of deer. And then I'm waiting on another order that I placed for tons and tons of tile. And that's when it's going to really feel like this track is coming together. Once all of this is tiled, the rock pathway is there, it's going to feel very real. Probably tomorrow, we're going to work on this section right here, trying to figure out the two different pathways. The one thing I do have concern, well, maybe not concern, but still haven't figured out is where the ending is. I'm kind of thinking that the beginning will be right here. We'll have some kind of like wall blocking the marbles. It'll lift up and then all the marbles will release and kind of swirl down the slides to start. But does that make the path ending here? And if it is, I need to think about what that means for actually having two paths coming down to the finish. So this section right here will probably be what we work on tomorrow as we wait a couple more days for tile and rock work. It's starting to feel real, guys. Legona 500 Dream Style is coming. I hope you're enjoying the behind the scenes. Let me know if you are in the comments. I would appreciate it. We'll see you next time.